All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom! Welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Alpha Outdoors Specialties. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world famous Andy Shaver.
Are you sure you got that right?
Yep, I didn't screw nothing up.
Good.
Do you want me to?
Good. Nah, you're batting 1,000 so far.
Well, I'm sure I'll fall to shit here pretty quick. With us today in studio from the small town in Mississippi. I guess it's a small town, isn't it?
Very small, very small.
Mr. Jason Burt. What's town in Mississippi?
Carthage,
Carthage.
Mississippi.
You told me that a minute ago. See, I done fucked up now, Andy.
See there? I got in your head.
How big's Carthage?
God, I really, truly don't. I couldn't.
1,000 people?
Yeah, 1,000, 2,000, maybe
Yes.
something like that.
That's twice as big as Knox City.
Drag this just a little bit closer to you. Keep it about a fist away. About that far? Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's small, but it's not as big as a lot of the surrounding towns. So I mean, I guess it's small, but I guess it's big compared to Knox City. It is. Yeah.
We're living in the smallest communities you can live in. Hooterville, that's right.
Well, I like this better than I do the one I'm in now. So.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, we got places here. We got a lot of houses for sale here.
Yeah.
Move on over.
Yeah. Gotta get my kid into college. So.
Then you can move to Knox City.
Then I can move wherever I want to.
You know, I've had a lot of people that come to Knox City that are like, I'd like to live in a place like this.
Yeah.
Like, well, why don't you come out here then?
It's real fun September to February.
Yeah.
And then, well, I mean, probably wouldn't. I mean, you're busy enough, but people come out here and, they're hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're on vacation.
Right.
And that's
right.
why it's so cool. Like, yeah, it'd be
Right.
fucking great to move to St. Lucia, but, like, what are you going to do the other 50 weeks out of the year?
Right.
So,
Nice place to visit.
nice place to visit.
Nice
I had a
place.
friend.
And I wouldn't even go that far about Knox City.
I had a friend come here one time. We used to have a thing called the Watermelon Festival in the summer. Like every place that they ever sold watermelons or grew watermelons has a watermelon festival.
Right.
And we're the home of the seedless watermelon with 77,000 other cities that claim the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, we used to have a big watermelon festival here. And I had some buddies that come here for there, and they're like, man, I want to move here. You do realize that not every weekend of the
watermelon
year
festival.
It's a watermelon
we ride golf carts all around town drinking and go into the park and buy chicken and gator on a stick and then go around. This doesn't happen but one weekend a year.
Right,
Don't
right.
base that. Come here the third weekend in April.
Right.
And the second weekend in October, and you see that outside of us being busy at the hunt lodge, there ain't a lot of shit going on here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we don't have anything back home. I mean, everything that we have is surrounding.
Yeah.
Nothing goes on in that town. It's the reason why I'm ready to get the hell out of
Do
it.
you have to lock your doors though at night?
I mean, I do. I don't necessarily have to.
That you're in a good place. That's why I am too. We got cameras. Everybody's got
Yeah.
freaking cameras now. So my
Yeah.
whole house, I can watch. When we was on vacation in Mexico, I could
Yeah.
pull up the house to see. One day I wanted to check to see if the snow had melted yet. Mm-hmm. So I pulled up the camera to look see if there's any snow on the ground still. But we don't have to lock our doors.
Yeah, no.
And that's a good thing because so many places you better lock your fucking door.
Yeah, no. I mean, and they know I'll come outside in a robe and a shotgun in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I wouldn't even wear a robe. A
well,
fat naked man will run off anybody quick. I'm telling you right now.
yeah.
If some motherfucker tries to jump on you and he's naked, you better get the fuck away from him. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Somebody said that was their defense mecanism. If they ever going to get in a fight, they'd strip down naked.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
nobody wants to fight the naked
Yeah,
guy.
no, nobody wants to fight the naked guy.
No.
You're not putting that sumbitch on me. Get away
No,
from me.
no. Don't get nowhere near me with
Yeah.
it.
If he wants to fight you buck naked, like there's no measure he will not pull out of his hat
Right.
to win that fight.
That's exactly right.
He'll bite you. He'll scratch you.
I'm just more worried about him hitting me with his penis. That's what I'm worried about. That is an unnormal feel. That's not something I want feeling. I don't give a shit if it's on my chest, my back,
Forehead.
my knee. Oh, no, damn sure not on
bulge.
my forehead. Oh, hell no.
Well, there was a joke that said, you know what's worse than waking up with a dick drawn on your forehead? Finding out it was traced.
That's no shit. They used to be like telling someone, have they been banned? And they'll be like, what's banned? To be physically abused by someone slapping their flaccid penis across your face, That's not something nobody ever wants to go through.
No, they don't. No.
Let's
Not
talk
ever.
about the Stanfield Stool.
Yes, sir.
You got a hunting stool y'all built for us.
Yes.
That's used for blinds.
Yes.
It is the perfect chair to sit in a deer stand.
Yes.
Or an A-frame.
Yes, we have used them in pit blinds, deer stands. Of course, y'all used them in A-frames.
Yeah.
And of course, we went in and we modified to make sure everything fit right. Dove hunting.
That would be a perfect dove hunting stool.
Yeah, it's a great dove stool.
Now, it's not one you want to carry a half mile. It
No.
is intended to get in the back of your truck,
Right.
drive to the take it out of your truck, and put it in your blind.
Right, exactly.
It's comfortable. It's got give to it. I'm going to tell you right now, one of those or two of those will end up on my back porch this summer.
Exactly.
And I will set those on my back porch. There'll be a couple of them on my back porch I'll have all summer long.
Yeah.
Because around the house, we have 4th of July at my house, we will be sitting in those stools.
And then you know what's going to happen? Hunting season's going to roll around. We'll be like, where the fuck are all of our stools? Oh, Jeff used them to party on. That's
Yeah.
where
Right.
they are. They're on his deck.
Yeah.
I work my dog with them.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because
Right.
because now that hunting season's over with, now
Dog training
season it starts. So I work my dog with it. You know, and you can sit in one spot. You know, you're not on a bucket, so you're comfortable.
Right.
You know, if you need a turn, whatever, work your dog, whatever, you're comfortable. So that's kind of the reason why. I mean, you know, they said you give a lazy man a hard job, you find an easy way to do it.
That's right.
So I wanted something easy, simple, and comfortable.
Yeah.
You know,
What are those chairs going to retail for?
right now I'm trying to keep everything below $2. I'm trying to keep everything below $200.
So $199.95.
$199.99 probably. Is what I'm shooting for. A lot depends on materials.
Oof,
you know, a lot depends on materials. What, you know, thanks to Brandon, depending on what goes up, you know, I seriously doubt it's going to go down. But you know, if we can try to get a bulk order and get a bulk shipment of materials in, so we can lock in that price, then we can handle. But you know, we can handle it that.
The chairs that you use on them are made by who now?
They're Millennium.
And
they're Millennium boat seats.
The prototype you sent to me, a couple of my guys are fishing guys, and they said, "Oh, those are damn good," because I guess those are bass fishing chairs.
They are. They're fishing chairs. And I mean, I've used them in duck boats and everything like that. So that's where I kind of got accustomed to them.
And those chairs are built by y'all, right?
Yes.
And so you're getting them straight from them.
Yes.
Where do people go if they want to? Say an outfitter wants to buy a dozen of them, and I'm telling you, outfitters, right now, if you've got a pit blind somewhere and you want some chairs that are comfortable, that are hold up, these are the chairs you want. How do they get a hold of y'all?
The best thing to do right now is to send me either an email or give me a call. We've got a website that we are kind of holding off because we've got other products that are coming out. So we want to go live with it, with everything on it versus one or two things.
What's your email?
Email is going to be Jason at.
Hold on.
Okay.
I deal with slow people here
I
a lot.
understand.
Jason, Jason.
Jason at Alpha.
ALPHA.
OF. MS.com.
Jason, Jason at Alpha OFMS.com.
That's alphaofms.com.
Alpha of
MS.
MS is in Mississippi.com.
Is in Mississippi.
We have some slow people that listen
I
to us.
understand.
you know?
Understand.
We have
Some
some
of
slow
them
people
have
that-
some ninth grade educations, and there's nothing wrong with that. But
Yeah, you know.
we all have a ninth grade education, or we
all do.
should all have one at least.
Now, I will say this: if it's easier to call me, I have absolutely no problem with that. They can call me 601-331-8347. So you can either call me or email me, text me. Doesn't matter.
That'll be perfect then, right there. That's what we want people to do. Call Jason, email him, and these chairs, I'm telling you, are legit the bomb.
And it's not something that's going to fall apart either. Like,
No,
you're not going to spend
no.
$200 and then in 2
No.
years be like, damn, I got to buy
And
another one.
they're made out of these right here are made out of 5052. It's marine grade aluminum, 8th gauge, I believe. I mean, they're strong.
Right.
I mean, they're strong.
What scares people is you go to Academy, I'm going to say, and I hate to call it Academy because all Cabela's,
You
Bass
go to a
Pro,
big box store.
any of them, and you buy the big boy lawn chair that that folds out and stuff.
Right.
And that fucker is comfortable.
Yeah.
And it lasts. about half a summer.
That's correct.
And then a stitch breaks.
That's correct.
Or a fat ass that's in the 300-pound chair weighs 302.
That's right.
And his ass crack's hanging out of that thing.
Right.
And once that sumbitch starts breaking or gets brittle, she's done. You might as well throw it away. You're
Yeah.
going to get one season out of it. These here are like shin gear waders. You're getting more than 1 year out of these damn things.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what you want. These are products going to last a long time.
Yeah. I drug a prototype from Mississippi to Missouri through the woods, through pit blinds, through just about anything I could put it through. And, I mean, it's fine. I mean, it held up great. That's the reason why I wanted to kind of make sure that it was going, because if there was a problem or an issue, then I wanted to address it now.
Right.
And did not have any trouble out of it, and everything worked out just fine.
Can you tell us what your other products that you're working on?
Yeah. We have got we're kind of coming up with a name right now, but we call it, for the sake of argument, blind caddy. Basically what it is when you're sitting in a pit blind, you've got to get a hold of your shells. You got to get a hold of you need somewhere to put your cup, put your coffee, anything like that. And in this pit, you've got metal, front, back, whatever. It'll have a magnet on the inside of it, so it'll be the cup holder, shell holder, have hooks on it. It'll have a place to put your phone. It'll have we're working now. We've got it at the prototypes at the injection molding place, so we're getting quotes on everything like that to start producing those. It'll have and they'll all be interchangeable. So you'll have like a male side and a female side where they can hook into each other. So if you don't want them together, you can put the shells on one side of you, cup holder on the other. You can put a cup holder, shells, hooks. Where we've got a thing that'll go on the side of it that you can put a rechargeable, like a battery pack or whatever to recharge
we are making hunters more lazy, aren't we?
We are making them.
I'm
trying to make it to where if I could figure out how to put an ottoman in a duck blind, I probably would.
Have you hunted? Because I've had an idea similar to this. Have you hunted out of A-frames? Have you seen like the A-frame style? Okay, so it's basically it's 3 rows of square tubing, and I've had the idea that if you kind of like you're saying a caddy, what you could do is you could just make a hook like that, and it would just go right over the top of that square tubing. And that would cater to the A-frame market rather than the magnets.
Well, you just probably ruined a big top secret deal, Andy. Way to go.
Not necessarily.
I sit in a fucking A-frame every day. Like, trust me, I'm with you. I want to make this as easy as possible.
What it'll have probably have a magnet built into it. We're trying to still do the design, but on the back we'll have those same male female type slots. One end will be a hook. The other end will be holes for like a screw hole. Right. So if you're in an A-frame, you flip it around, slide it in, you hook it on the A-frame. If you're hooking out of a sled blind, just like a wooden blind, deer stand, whatever, you flip it over, you put the hook, so that basically it sits on top of the hook, and you screw it into your A-frame. I mean, you screw it into your skid blind.
So what he's talking about, you see a use for this in your everyday deal.
Yeah, because whenever I'm hunting, like, there's nowhere to set my coffee. Right. And half the time it gets fucking dumped over because I move around and my foot hits it because it's just sitting there on the ground.
Or Lou
no, Lou doesn't ever. He's on the outside of the blind. But or like dirt swirling around the bottom of the blind. And so dirt gets in my coffee. But if there was a way that you could elevate something and set your coffee right there, I wouldn't have that problem.
Yeah.
And so an A-frame caddy basically is
it's
what
like an A-frame. We just call it a blind caddy. So I mean, deer blind, duck blind.
Right.
And also, we're making an attachment. We're making an attachment to go on the chairs. So you can put a shell holder on one side, put your your cup holder on the other.
Yeah.
So no matter where you turn, it's there with you. And you're not trying to if you shoot 3 and you got a cripple. Well, now I got to go try to find which pocket I've got an extra shell in.
Right.
You reach down there, grab it, throw it in.
Ain't it funny how, as we've evolved into the 21st, 22nd century, whatever century, and I can't keep up with that shit no more. We're the 21st century, right?
Yes.
21st century. Just in the last 5 years, we've seen some things happen. Simple things. A blind caddy.
Yeah.
Tons of sense. Why hasn't someone done this the last 100 years?
Right.
I was reading Nash Buckingham's book the other day. People have been hunting out of blind since the 1800s. And another thing is the freaking shell bag by Boss. Now, Federal's coming out with a bag. Yeah. All of them got bags.
Yeah.
But I guess Lee Cho's come up with that, didn't he?
I mean, it's kind of to cater to it's kind of got a nostalgic feel to it with it being tin cloth or whatever it is. So,
but it's just the whole.
Right.
It makes sense because all those times you got half a box of shells from a hunt and you got to keep them in the box. You throw them in a bag like that's no big deal no more. And it's like, why didn't someone think about this now? Now everybody's doing them.
Yeah, and and I've actually took and hung because I shoot boss. I've hung a money bag on the side.
Yeah.
Of the hook. So sometimes in the pit, like if you get there and you hadn't pumped it out, or it's got some water in it or whatever, you kind of don't have anywhere to put it. And if your cubby hole is stuffed with everything else, you don't want to get wet. And you're down one end of the pit, and the cubby hole's down here. You have that right there in front of you. And of course, the blind caddy it'll have gun rest on it, so you can put your guns up on it, and it'll be kind of angled out. And like I said, you can put shell holder, gun rack. Shell holder, cup holder, shell holder, or you can just daisy chain them along. So that type thing.
You couldn't even buy an A-frame 15 years ago. 10 years ago, probably they started really.
What year is it? Maybe not even then.
But it's just crazy how
that'd be on the high side. 8 years ago, probably.
And it's really has revolutionized a lot of hunting for a lot of people.
Yeah,
it's made it a lot. It's easier to do with a wider range of people. Like I can take Reese, and when Ron was alive, I could take Ron, and like we could just set up one blind, and from 7-year-old to 74-year-old, everybody's comfortable.
Right.
You're not having to stand in water or anything like that. It's revolutionary. Yeah, it's done a good job.
It's a good thing. Hunting's going in the right direction.
It is.
I think so.
Make people as comfortable as possible.
Right.
And they'll last a little bit longer. You extend your hunting.
Yeah. Well, that's like last year or 2 years ago or something like that. We needed a blind built, and of course, with me just being home, just me and my daughter, I didn't have nothing else to do, so I built a huge blind on a trailer, like 22 foot long, 8 foot wide, 7 foot tall. You cook in it, you can do all that kind of stuff to to try to make things easier.
That's right.
More enjoyable, so you can sit out there longer. You can, and when you're struggling, of course, Mississippi struggles a lot of time for birds. When you're struggling, you can, you can be comfortable, just like with the seats. You can sit back and you're not miserable. Your back's not hurting. You're
not counting down.
You're not counting. Like,
looking for.
Can we go home now?
One day in my life, I'm going to go hunt one of these blinds that's got the cook stuff. That's one thing I want to do one day in my life.
Well,
just to see one.
Well, you can make that 2-day trip back home where I live, and come hunt with us in January, because December just sucks.
See, I can't when during hunting season. I can't do nothing. That's
you can't do anything.
But it's just something I see these, read about him, and I look at him. I'm thinking, them guys got this shit down, figured out. Breakfast in the blinds. They got cooked. They got everything. I saw a blind someone had a picture of the other day, and they had a freaking. I don't know. I got a 100-inch fucking TV at my house. They had one bigger than mine in the fucking blind, and the guys are sitting on leather sofas and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, them boys right there. Now they're not poor boy in it, but they're comfortable.
Oh yeah, no, we and we're talking about next year about expanding one of our blinds.
So do you have one guy that sits up on the poor guys? He sits there and watches for birds for everybody. And everybody else has playing pool and shit down below, and then the birds are flying, and he calls them up there. Or do y'all get pissed when you hear him shooting and he hadn't told
we
anybody?
usually take the new guy and make him look. So you're on bird watch. So whoever the new guy is that comes in and hunts with us, he's on bird watch.
So is it considered a faux pas if he shoots and doesn't let everybody else know there's birds working?
Oh God, yeah.
Okay. So
God, yeah. Yeah, we had a guy this year that he shot a pintail, his first pintail he ever shot, and it was bird boom. That's how that went down, and it was it's mine. I think he beat the dog out there to get the. But to get the birds.
So y'all do send a guy out there to sit and watch for birds?
No, we don't do it.
You don't do that? That happens. It has to some of those places. Because some of those pits are huge that they've got built in. They got a living room built in there.
I saw one that was a Connex box in the ground, like y'all's Connex box. Uh-huh. And the bottom part was where you cooked and ate, and I think it even had a bed or two in there. And then you stepped up on a platform, and that's what you hunted out of, because it had holes all the way down it. So it was like. It's like 53-foot long pit blind.
See, there's that fascinates me on the hunting end. the Real Foot Lake deal where they got 15,000 freaking decoys and they got them hardwired to electricity, all their mojos and shit.
Right.
I think that's interesting. I just, for some reason, I think that would be amazing to see. I would hate to be the poor bastard that has to put up and pick up. That would be a horrible job.
Yeah.
And then these snow goose guides that have the big spreads of 10,000 decoys that they leave out. To me, that's interesting. It would be a cool deal to go driving right in and go set right up at first light, and they turn the stereo deals would really bother me though. I would have a headache for 3 months after that shit.
That shit in your dreams.
Where I hunt in Missouri, we put out 12, 24, or 12 to 20 dozen, something like that, decoys out there. Of course, we just leave them. We just leave them.
12 dozen? Or
12 to 20 dozen.
So 240 duck decoys?
Duck decoys, yeah. We've got ducks, and I got full bodies on stakes.
That's still a
like
lot
that.
of duck decoys.
No, it is. It is. I mean, it's a lot of times it's not enough, but I mean, it's still
crazy.
It's still, and then they've got goose spreads that are all around there. Of course, I mean, there's a lot of outfitters around there, and they're doing the conservation hunts, going on now. And I mean, and their spreads are just stupid, big spreads.
I grew up hunting on a dairy in Windthorst, Texas. And I'm not lying when I tell you this. I grew up and we shot lots of ducks. Our limit was 100 shells. We took 100 loads with us, and when we shot 100 bullets, we were done for the day.
Wow.
That was it. Whether we shot 15 ducks or we shot 55 ducks. That was for me, my dad, and my brother growing up.
Right.
Now, we were on a 10-bird limit back then, and we killed a lot of teal. We killed a lot of pintails. So there was days that we would kill 40, 50 teal probably. I did have a day one time I shot 26 or 27 canvasbacks.
Oh, wow.
Between the three of us.
Wow.
On the one bird limit on the canvasback.
On the one bird limit per canvas. Okay.
My dad's dead. He was the adult there, so you can't do nothing to him now. But
statute of limitations.
We shot most of those birds over 6 decoys.
Really?
Matter of fact, I got 2 Victor decoys, old mallard, flat bottom mallard decoys, some bitches heavy as shit. And we hunted over them a lot. And that was it. And if it was icy, you could put them Victors on the ice because they're flat bottoms.
They were flat, okay.
And so we would use them all the time. But that, and we had a dozen G&H green wing teal decoys.
Yeah.
And that's what we used.
And I think we kind of went overboard this year.
Well, in some places you have to have that. But we didn't have, there was nobody else hunting nowhere even close. You never even heard anybody else shoot.
Okay.
We hunted a dairy where the cows that would shit the grain out, and those fucking ducks, there'd be 1,500 ducks on the pond every day we hunted.
Right, okay.
And it was the golden deals of duck hunting still.
Yeah.
And then when duck season went to 3-bird limit, well, even though we could still shoot 100 shells and go hunting every day, as we got older, I realized I could get in trouble, so we quit doing as much of that. But we didn't have the opportunities. We lost the duck. We didn't have the duck numbers.
Yeah, and I wonder sometimes if by going to the limit what you got now, if they aren't talking about, or I kind of heard rumor of, maybe possibly somebody wanting to move it back to a 3-bird, or a 30-day season or something.
I hope. I don't think the government will go to a 30-day season because our government is driven by money.
True.
They could keep the days the same, 190 days, whatever it is, and they could go to a 3-duck limit, and they'd sell just as many hunting licenses and fishing licenses.
Oh, they would.
Because the guys want to go out and hunt.
Yeah, I'm still going to do it.
The same with fishing. On the Texas coast, they've lowered, I think, the limit on redfish or something because of the freeze. I bet they sold just as many fishing licenses this year.
Really?
I'd much rather see a smaller bag limit and the same amount of days.
Oh, yeah, I would too.
The same bag limit and shorter days.
I would too.
The small Canada goose, these 8-bird limits, they need to go down to 5 to 3 to 5. And the outfitter, it's funny is everybody thinks the outfitters, them outfitters are going to be pissed off. No, they're not.
Yeah.
Outfitters be happy as shit.
Oh yeah, get out of there.
And I'll give you an example out here. We can shoot 2 specs a day.
Okay.
Well, when we got just specs here and we don't have a lot of other things, we stop at 2 specs. So if we got 10 guys and we shoot 20 specs and we kill 3 or 4 Canada geese, whatever we kill, we've had a perfect day.
Right.
You hunt till noon, 3 or 4 more hours to kill 1 more Canada goose. You went from having a perfect day to a day that wasn't so perfect.
Yeah, to a miserable day.
Yeah, and so you shoot your specs and you're done. It'd be the same with a 3-bird duck limit. If you go out and shoot 3 birds, because guys, we shot our limit. Okay, we shot our limit. We're happy.
Yeah, right.
They shoot 3 ducks, they're happy.
Right.
And we our duck numbers are way off. Even the state of Texas, did you see the numbers they sent out? They gave out our duck numbers. They're talking about we had 1 million widgeons this year up this way. How many widgeons did you see this year? Honestly, 0. Did you see a dozen?
0.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't see. There's been some back here. I saw some on Tony's Pond the other day, but there wasn't very many.
a million birds. You're going to notice if it's a million.
No shit.
You're going to notice if it's a million birds.
And I might be on a million. It might have been 300, 400,000, but it was a huge number of birds.
Yeah.
Justin Hill sent me an email with it on it, and I kind of glanced over it, but it was just a crazy amount. You're not going to find it on the internet.
Oh,
No, it's an email that he got sent to him.
Oh.
Justin could email you the exact numbers.
Little.
No.
Secret society stuff.
I don't know if it's secret society, but I got it, so I guess I'm in on the secret. But anyways, the numbers are so skewed from what they are because I don't believe they're numbers. I think the federal, because I know from my eyes what I see, and I'm telling you right now, we ain't got no fucking ducks. We hadn't had ducks all year long. Everybody I know says they didn't have ducks. There's some people that had pockets of ducks for 3 or 4 or 5 days.
Right.
Kansas didn't have ducks all year long. They had times they had ducks for 2 or 3 weeks, but they had a lot of times they didn't have any ducks.
Right.
Where all them fucking ducks go?
Well, I know for us over there, we didn't get ducks until January, till January, and that's the way it is every year for our place. You can starting out it's pretty good, then it goes to shit, and then it picks up basically in January, and it gotten to the point that we were seeing pintails like blackbirds.
Really?
Yeah, and because you'd sit there and be like, gosh,
and it's one,
and it's like, damn, that's okay. Oh well, here we go, just more pintails. Really, let's something else. We get excited if a shoaler came in,
just something else,
something else to to look at. And so, but it's never been like that. It has never been like that. Missouri couldn't find a 1 or 2 pintails every now and then buzz. That's it. Come down to Mississippi, and there's freaking pintails everywhere. I hunted with a guide up in North Mississippi around Tunica, which is just south of Memphis, and man, there were pintails everywhere. There were pintails, and it was froze up solid. There were pintails landing on the ice. Pintails just landing on the ice.
Right.
I mean, they didn't care. I mean, they wanted to be there, and we never had pintails like this.
We always have a heavy pintail population, and this year especially, that was the only duck we had.
Really,
we didn't see many mallards. I didn't see any widgeon.
Okay, it's 210,949. Is how many widgeons were in our area? 210,000.
210,000 birds.
And that was in.
Now that's
the widgeons numbers that they had for us in January.
Now is that Knox and Haskell County?
That's considered the rolling plains, like Abilene, an 80-mile circle, Abilene or something.
80-mile circle.
Wow. But there's not 210,000. First of all, for the first person out there that's going to fucking call and try to give you days, I don't know exactly, but it's considered the rolling plains. But it was 210,000 mallards. 210,000 widgeons, 235,000 mallards.
That's bullshit.
55,000 pintails. Now
we had those just in Knox and Haskell County.
Okay, this is the numbers for Knox and Haskell County, was 26,000 pintails.
Okay, so we had half the pintails in 2 counties.
And they said we had 32,000 mallards.
So they're saying we had more mallards than pintails?
That's what they're saying. Okay.
Maybe I need to fly with these people, or maybe they need to ride with us.
Yeah.
For a day.
Is this an aerial survey that
yes,
they're doing this?
And I don't buy any of that shit. But they did get us right. They had 0 tundra swans.
They're 100% right there. We would scout, and it would just be pintails. And then you would see an occasional mallard drake, or it's hard to kind of tell a mallard hen if they're mixed in with that many pintails. But
yeah, we wouldn't. We had no mallards. We had no mallards.
Can you see who made that survey? And maybe we could get them on the podcast.
It's going to be one of our buddies from the state of Texas, so no.
And they don't like us.
They had 102,000 specs.
Okay.
12,000 Canadas and 125,000 geese were here. Whenever this week surveyed, but that week during the day they did that. The day they did the survey, we had 125,000 geese.
It doesn't say when.
It did, but it's blurry.
Well,
it's horrible.
Right.
You can't hardly read nothing. This is a screenshot. So maybe this is secret society shit. Maybe I'm not supposed to have all this. Well, anyways.
I don't. They said we had the highest concentration of mallards, I think, I want to say, like in North Mississippi, or like around our place.
Yeah.
That was bullshit. We didn't have any. We didn't have any mallards. There were pockets, like I said, there were pockets, but those pockets were maybe 50, 60.
Well, 4 years ago, we had a lot of ducks here, lot of ducks. And we had water everywhere. because I told them one day, I said, well, I'll tell you what, somebody somewhere is like, where the fuck are our ducks at this year?
West Texas.
Well, they were here. Well, we haven't had them in 3 years like we had, but we hadn't had no water. And when we have water, we always have a lot of ducks. Mm-hmm. But somebody somewhere is sitting on a shitload of ducks, or our duck numbers are way off. Well, I don't know anybody in the last 2 years that's had all these ducks.
You didn't say, did he say widgeon on there? Did you look at the widgeon number?
Yeah, 2,300 is what this one said here.
Oh, 2,300?
But the Panhandle had like 900,000.
Right.
And those guys didn't have no ducks either.
Okay.
But you take these numbers, and I know the duck numbers we had 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. I know the ducks we've had the last 2 years have been way off. I know the guys all around hadn't had no ducks in 2 years. Mm-hmm. Where are the ducks? Somebody somewhere's got to be sitting on 1 million ducks that don't normally have that many ducks.
Right.
But either they're really good at keeping secrets. In today's world, that don't happen. No. I know that Northern Illinois had a lot of ducks this year because I've had guys tell me that from Northern. I had some guys here just the other day from Northern Illinois, and they were talking about what a wonderful duck hunting. Some hog hunters were here, and they were talking about what a great duck season they had. But the average guy hasn't shot any ducks this year. I don't know anybody.
What about Oklahoma and Kansas?
Southwest Oklahoma was horrible.
Was it really?
Yeah. Now I think you get northern Oklahoma around the Perry area. I think they started killing a lot of ducks, but they also didn't have a lot of ducks. Guys in Kansas told me they had ducks, but not near what they normally had. Okay. But they have 5 or 6 days they really wore them out, but then they didn't have them.
Okay.
I know a lot of guys in Missouri didn't have a lot of ducks.
It was rough.
Yeah.
It was rough.
But where are they?
I don't know. Because we would get, this is what I was told by somebody, take it for whatever it's worth. Over in Arkansas, northeast Arkansas, you got I think it's Big Lake Waterfowl Refuge or National Refuge or something like that. It's just big lake. And he said that, the guy said that they would roost on that lake, and then they would fly up around Sykeston to them cornfields and the fields up there at Sykeston. And that was their path that they took. It was like a flyaway inside a flyaway. Right. And that was a path that they took because there's 3 big ditches that drain like all of the ditches up around, Kennett and Reeves and Steele and, Bragg City and all that, like drains back down to this place. And they would just fly back and forth. We would see mallards, heavy mallards one day. And then we wouldn't see them for a week or two, maybe 2 weeks. And then we'd kind of see them coming back that way. And in between there, we'd get redheads and canvasbacks and, bluebills and everything like that, right. So, I mean, it was, so that's what he told me. He's a outfitter up there and a farmer, and he said that's what they were doing. They were flying back and forth right through there. Now, that probably doesn't explain where y'all's went to. Right. But I think that might help explain something about where maybe ours went to.
It's just been a weird year, and it's just nobody has an answer, but it seems like the ducks in the Central Flyway, when North Dakota flooded real bad a couple of years ago, since then things have been just completely different. Yeah. And then last year it's dry as shit. It is dry now. We need some rain. Yeah. And we are in the middle of a bad drought, and a lot of people don't realize it because it's a winter drought. Yeah. If it's dry in the winter and the fall and the summer, the only people that notice is duck and goose hunters. Yeah. That's it. Right. But when spring and summer gets here and it don't rain, if we don't get any rain this spring, the ducks are in big trouble, and so are we.
Well, and we have the ability to be able to push. I mean, not be able to push, be able to pump. We can pump water, on several of our stuff. And so we had water early, so we had places for them to be there. We got a moist soil compound that we flooded, and it had food in there. So it was there for them, but they just never showed up to take advantage.
If they don't have a place to put a nest, we're gonna be in trouble.
Oh yeah,
and that's what it's looking like. Yeah. Well, Jason, I know you got a long ass drive ahead of you. I appreciate you coming in here.
Absolutely.
Alpha Outdoors Specialties, emails.
Jason, JASON at Alpha of MS, ALPHAMOFMS.com.
We appreciate you being on here, and we wish you the best of luck and look forward to this partnership. And
yes, sir.
If you want some comfortable chairs, folks, take a look at them. We'll have them up on the website and everything here before long. We'll have a big.
I'm looking forward to the blind caddy.
Yep. Yes, I am too. I am too.
Trust me, I am too.
I am too.
Thank y'all for listening to us. God bless y'all, and have a great week.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, go check out all of our wonderful sponsors before you get out of here. Check out Alpha Outdoors Specialties before you leave. Get your blind chairs hooked up. Dive Bomb Industries, Gundog Outdoors, State Plains Meat, Stanfield Hunting Outfitters, Looking Glass Duck Club Podcast, Lucky Duck, Dirty Duck Coffee, Shin Gear Waders, Boss Shot Shells, and Pacific Calls.